All right, how about that? Looks like you guys can see me now. Or I can see sound. You guys tell me if you can hear me or not. No, Will, haven't done that yet. I was literally running up the stairs. Uh, Go in here. Okay, good. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Um, yeah, it's a crazy morning, right? Two windows. What? What do you mean two windows? What are you saying? Well, you're confusing me. It's way too early. I had the stream open in 2 minutes. Okay. I was like, what? I'm like, I'm like, you're confusing me, man. All right. So sorry we're starting late today. I have the boys, and one of them is not happy today, and of course trolling the other one. And they have time to get on their tablets, but God forbid we get on school on time. So yeah, it's that morning. And we ran like super late with the Nadex presentation. So I was like, wow, that was so late. And Ernest was getting a shout out again. So I don't know. I feel like Ernest, he earned some. We're gonna call them Nadex nuggets. I figure we can't use chips, right? Hip chips is taken, but I think Nadex nuggets works. So I don't know what you can redeem with your Nadex nuggets yet, but I'm gonna have Todd, get it in there. Some loyalty on Nadex nuggets. Maybe he'll send you like a hat or something. I don't know. Anyway, so decent movement. A lot of it has all been generated recently by the dollar because of the CPI number. Preliminary GDP for quarter over quarter for the pound was great, 1.5. Not great, but I mean it was less than what it was previously, although they raised that. But the forecast was not necessarily as bad. So again, that started them off good, and you can see the pound yen is up 83. Again, decent movement since that time. Um, Pound dollar down a little bit. Only, I mean, if you think about it, the pound dollar being down only -5. I mean, if you look at, Aussie dollar down 53, you're looking at the euro down 56. Being down -5 is really like nothing, right? So rather small amount. Um, Crude oil at 10:30. I don't know. I just feel like crude oil is not going to be as big a mover today. I think the CPI is going to be like the main focus. I don't have any of the charts or anything like the news programs or anything like that up. I always like to kind of get some type of read of what they're feeling for the morning, but I don't have it up today. There's just too much going on. But like I said, I feel like there probably going to be some movement from crude, but I would say that the European session probably is going to take up most of it today. I feel like it's moved enough that that's going to be the big session. Um, and then bonds don't necessarily matter. Going into tomorrow, you can see that we have unemployment claims at 8:30. I think tomorrow, I think unemployment claims will matter, but I think Macklin, I think, is the trade of the morning. Remember, no charts goal tomorrow, being a Thursday. Oh, now I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I can't win this morning. I can't win. Oh, hopefully I got my hand over it quick enough. Man, I don't know what it was. Like that's why Monday I just had to go back to bed. Like I don't know, you know, I don't know what tree decided that this week that this is it. This is the week we're dropping our pollen. But holy crap, my allergies have been kicking my butt for like 4 days now. Um, I don't know what it is. I mean, the car's been green for 2 weeks, but man, something about whatever just released and dropped this weekend is killing me. Um, oh man, it's dry, and you guys can hear my voice too. My voice is definitely deeper than what it normally is. So, um, I love this headline. Just about this is great. Just about everything is getting more expensive in the United States, right? I believe Warren said that. Go Uncle Warren. But the Fed is no, no, no. This is just temporary. This will be back. Yeah, it's no big deal. We're gonna run hot forever. You know, um, yeah. So fun, fun, fun. I don't see anything else. I see risks on both sides of the baseline economic outlook. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's just all consumer pricing. And again, the most interesting thing about this is that this is the biggest 12-month increase since September 2008. You guys know 2008 was a great year. Um, Uncle Warren, yeah, Uncle Warren is the man, right? Hold on one sec. Let's see, one sec. Um, Hold on. Uh, um, hold on. Okay. All right. So yeah. So we got that. Get the messages all the time here. All right. Let's dive right over to charts. I had the dollar index up. I love it. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's like pinball, right? Dollar index was crazy. All the way up, all the way down, all the way back up again. So it's funny how it's moving. Like in this too. Look at this. Tesla down at 616. Look at that, down zero point 0.6 again. It could be much, much worse today. But Apple getting crushed again, 1.27% down today. I feel like all the Apple lovers have all switched over to Tesla lovers, but Tesla's getting crushed too. I told Todd, I'm like, yeah, I want this to close at 500. I want Nancy's boy to take a loss this year. Yeah, I'm really going for that one. But anyway, let's go to the Aussie dollar. So here's what the Aussie dollar looks like. We mentioned a little, yesterday at our session for Nadex, we talked about any type of a break below 78.21 would definitely be a short. We'd be looking for targets. And again, the 1 to 3, I did this a little while ago. The 1 to 3 target was here. It was easily crushed. It went right down to it. We were looking for the opposing target. It had a little bit of a turn here at the 1 to 5. The opposing was at 1 to almost 7, right? The 1 to 7 target actually is right there. As you can see, it never went back up again. There was another opportunity for an entry. You could have taken a small entry right there. And again, that was on this spike up again. It was a tested level. You could have done it. And again, it's collapsed all the way back down again. So we're down at the 77, 73. At this point, like I said, internationally, everybody knows the game plan. When your interest rates are that high, or, I'm sorry, your inflation is that high, everybody knows what you got to do. Right. So it's kind of like this is more of an internationally driven thing. Also, there was some news this morning from this one right here that economists warn delays of Australia's international border reopening will cost them. Again, that is also negative. So this was kind of a double whammy, and that's why we started to see this collapse earlier, right? And then again, the dollar news today, it's the double whammy. Bad Aussie, great dollar. So where we are now is a little bit more difficult. So we've kind of cleared this area out again and again. This is, it's balanced, and we're kind of sitting on top of it right now. But technically speaking, there's nothing really left in there that we can trade from. So now, again, shrinking a little bit, you got to find like the next kind of decent level, right? So I'll just take this off. I would say this is probably where we're going to see a next bounce, if anything. And again, it came up at base, it popped, and then it found some more buyers to go forward. And it pushed it. Is it the cleanest area? No, not really. It's okay. And again, you can see basing in this one. We'll just remove it to keep it clean, though. I would say it's kind of an intermediary area. Could it be a reversal for later today? Yeah, it could be. Um, I don't necessarily love it. It was formed in a bit of a retracement over here. I think. What is the next Australian data? Let me see real quick. Inflation expectations. Huh. That may have the potential to do it. There's nothing for the rest of the week. Um, it's at 9. Let me see. That's possible. I'm wondering if we're going to see this. Like I said, it's not an earth-shattering, but it is inflation. So if they do see inflation expectations, that kind of goes along with a positive Aussie dollar position. And again, if we continue to drive down and start basing this level, what I would say is if you guys, see this continue to roll down, and it should, it should go a little bit deeper. If it does roll around and we start basing here around this level at approximately 77.44, actually, I don't need this anymore, but I do want to leave a level on here. There's a potential kind of bounce and go. There is a potential here for the Australian data to kind of bounce higher. Like I said, it's a yellow release, but it is an inflation, which kind of helps the dollar and the Australia Australian Kiwi, or the Australian dollar. So um, I feel like that's the best opportunity that we have on this one. Again, obviously the spikes up and down. I'd be cautious. I would say that there's probably I don't know. There's probably one more sell order sitting up in here. Oops. I'll just take this one. Probably sitting right there. Um, and again, if we continue this area across, you can see that we based in it again. So, you know, I'd be cautious of a long from this level. I think there's probably more of an opportunity for us to come back down short from over here. Okay, but I think either of these two, I think we've remained short. Again, potential bounce off of the 77.44. That's about the best thing looking for the Aussie. Most of the movement is already out for the day. There's not much we can do with it. Um, so we took a bounce earlier today. Now this one was like a late last night, and then here is kind of your 4 o'clock. This one obviously, again, went back and forth, but we had the bounces, and again, we had our, whether or not you say this is one or two, there's one touch here. Here's definitely a two. Here's definitely a 3 and 4 is what sliced through. Again, dollar play. This one was mostly coming with the yen. Right now, what I would do is I'd be looking to figure out where we can go lower. I still think, and again, this is I have alert set for this one at 53.36. It's a decent level. Again, it got front run. There's probably going to be a little tiny bit of a hiccup in this level here. Something in this area right there. Would I take it short? Again, maybe on a session open or for any type of news, but right now it's not one that I'm willing to take unless I have some type more of a catalyst, right? Um, Downside, the problem with the downside on this one is there's not really, I mean, I would say probably the best level besides this one. And again, this was more of a, we were waiting for a break of it, right? And it did. It sliced right through on number 4. I would say that this is probably the next level where I'd be looking for some type of a bounce for it. And it's not necessarily the strongest green. It is a level that was a rally base and then a push higher. It was inside of a parabolic move. It did come back and go higher and then kind of touched it and went off. So it's an area where we know we have some buyers coming, stepping in. Whether or not it's the ideal opportunity, I want to say not really. But I will say that, again, for Australia, if we have good data, it could provide the turning opportunity for the Australian dollar to go higher or the Australian yen to go higher. Basically, just bringing the Australian dollar up, right? So that's about it. There's not really much more in this. I mean, we're really chopping on a 30-minute. There's not really any trend. All the up and down has really been from the CPI number. So not really much in there, right? Not really much in there. So and I don't think we don't even have a 3-to-1 lower. So if we start basing in and you see kind of a, that kind of confirmation bounce coming off the 84.77, maybe we could take it. But I mean, at this point, again, you have your 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it's sliced through. So it's kind of more of a level that I expected to kind of come up and base at later. Nothing right now that we can do much with. So if I had to put my top and bottom, I'd say 53.36, 84.54, top and bottom is where we're kind of bracketed in. Now, euro pound. There's a euro pound trade that we talked about yesterday having a break. And again, it got about, this is a 5-to-1 all the way down. The 3-to-1 target is right there. Right. I'm so close. Right there. Look at that. Perfect. So it's super close. I think we'll end up hitting it today. I mean, obviously the positive data for the pound is kind of what drove it. You can see a spike at the 830 number for CPI. Again, big U.S. numbers affect everybody. But the European session started right here. Right, so that's where we were breaking through that level. But that's a trade setup from yesterday. So, and again, you may or may not have gotten stopped on this one. It depends. But like I said, we were looking for a short. Wasn't a huge mover. We're only talking about 20-something pips. So not big to the downside. And again, it's unfortunate you may or may not have gotten stopped on this little peak out the top. So it happens. But you got to watch out for that kind of stuff when you have news like CPI. But I still think this one comes down. I think 85.49 is a target to the downside. If you're in, you're in. If you're not, it's a little bit late now. You've already gone 3/4 of the way through at this point to the downside. But again, bad European data, good pound data. It just wasn't a huge area for us to really kind of do much with. Okay. Euro yen. So euro yen, like, whoa, look, it's all over the place. This one, again, we were looking for it to go long. At 131.44, it would have been nice if we were a little bit lower. There was a zone here, so I mean, this is one of those ones you could say, well, there's a little bit of a pop in here, right? You could say that that's the last time that we had major buyers kept stepping in, and you could have potentially grabbed it. It was close. right? It actually needed to drive in before going back higher again. So it's kind of one of those ones. Did it work? Yeah. Could you have taken it from that level? You could have, but there was better opportunity out there. So I don't want to be like, hey, you could have taken this one. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, this is really kind of just stuck because I mean, if we go top side, it's the same thing, right? Actually, in reality, we should have grabbed there to get the formation, but it's really just channeling sideways, right? I don't think I have it up here. No, it's not up right now, but you can see in 24 hours. I mean, back to 9 from yesterday is right here. We're basically in the same exact spot. A little bit of an up, which is an easy grab. A little bit down. Didn't quite get to where we were looking. Kind of came over and got close, but again, didn't really give us an entry. So, I would say at this point, if you are looking for a short, there is a potential short up here at what 32.40. Reason why you could take it, and again, ideally you would want to have that at the European session open, right? So we have some driving force behind it. We would need this to go up about 40 pips from now till 3 a.m., which again, that's in an acceptable range there, right? Actually, I guess not that much. Hold on, I'm lying. About 25. We need to go up. Reason why is because again, strong ascent in, one candle, strong move out, strong push in, strong push back out again. So there's probably some buyers still sitting there. So 32.40, you could throw something on there, see if we can get a little bit of a rollover. Downward side target on that one, I would stick right here at the 31.82 mark, just because again, that's where we had the candle open, and again, that's where the strong movement was initiated. Although you could probably take it down to this level if you really wanted to. If you're taking a short off of here, put yourself at a kind of capturing profit right around there, the 31.65. So decent movement, about 80 pips down if we can get it. But besides that, there's not much. I wouldn't classify this one as being a major trending pair right now. And again, we're sitting right here yesterday, so we're almost. Oh, hold on. No, actually, sorry, the 9 mark is here. So we are 3 pips off from where we were yesterday. Okay, so is it a setup? Yeah. Is it the best opportunity? No, not so much. All right. So euro dollar. So euro dollar has really been kind of plastering back and forth. And again, 21.44. We were looking for a break of that. It did. It came through. It touched it again. Came back up, and again came all the way up, all the way down, and you can kind of see where it went to. Right. So right now we're still kind of stuck in that same level. I would say. I mean. The 2067 area, this is a strong push. And again, we had one touch. And again, there's another level down here. We didn't quite get to it. So I think obviously there's some support, some buyers being lower. But again, the European Union is not quite as good as what we're seeing with the CPI number. It's respecting. I still think this one comes down. The question is, do we take buys off either of these levels? We're kind of getting close to that 1030 level, but we do have a bit more room to run, right? We got about 24 pips. Could it do that in 30 minutes? Sure, it could. Is it highly likely? For lack of not a whole lot of news, probably not. Unfortunately, I mean, it could, right? I mean, it has the power, right? Right now, the 30-minute ATR is only 16, right? So it would have to do 2 ATRs in 30 minutes, is what we are in 28 minutes. It could, like I said, 10 o'clock is the time when we do get some pushes. But I imagine it'll start to slow a little bit, waiting for that oil release. But if we do come down, that could be an area where we look for a reversal. It's not going to be anything fast. There's no real news. Oil typically doesn't move the euro dollar too much. You got to play that over in the other realm. But like I said, there's a small level here that's been tested. We have kind of another level on top of a level scenario where you kind of have another area coming in right there. And again, that shouldn't be red. We'll change it to green. So either of those two is probably decent. And again, even the smaller level. So it's kind of a level. If we can get a 1030 reversal or maybe like a 2 o'clock in there, there could be something to retrace the dollar's movement. If the Fed comes out, and like I said, I don't know. Haven't seen anything yet. I mean, all we need is for like Powell to come out and be like, yeah, we expected to see inflation, but it's going to go away. We're not worried. We're not changing anything. That really messes this one up for the dollar. That's where the reversal will come in. So I don't know. Maybe Biden will say it. Maybe Biden will say everything is working as planned, right? And that'll be where the switch is. I don't know. But like I said, this should have driven this down and continue to push it down. The retracement shouldn't have happened, but it's just because of the weak Fed right now is why we're seeing it. All right. But we'll keep those two levels in pound yen. Again, we talked about this, a break of 154.04. Look for it to go higher. At its peak, it was up about 35 pips, which again you expect to see. Um, we are within range. I still think 155 is on the table. We're only 80 pips from it right now. We were within, I don't know, about what, 60 pips, right? 63 pips of getting all the way up there. So I feel like, again, I just don't want to get, I just don't want to get bearish this pair. I just feel like they are too far ahead than everybody else out there. So, it's one of those things, guys. It's just, this is purely, my opinion, but I feel like we need to stay long. And like I said, if you're in this one right now, for that break, you're up approximately 26. You were up at 30, you were 31 this morning. And again, that one also jumped because of the CPI news, right? And again, it's the CPI news because of the yen. It has nothing to do with the pound. But, again, the pound data was good and there was some, you know, technically we could have traded this one off off the CPI news also, but although it's not the ideal pair, right? But yeah, I think this one comes up, and I think we tag, this. I think this is the target all week. This is what we're looking for, right? 155. Pound dollar. So pound dollar obviously does have some exposure. Now this one did actually bounce off levels. You can see that we had the drop here and it got close. Again, the spike down, we tagged this level. It was easy to see and then kind of pulled all the way back up again. This was a fast one, but can you say, has the trajectory changed? And the answer is no, not really. I mean, we're sitting here right now at 10 o'clock. Yesterday, we were right here at 10 o'clock yesterday, right in this level. So more or less in the same wheelhouse, right? In 24 hours, this one has moved a total of minus 23. Okay. All things considered, is it a big mover? Not really. Was the news trade a kind of the retracement good? Yeah, it was about 60 pips in about 30 minutes. Besides that, there's not too much there. So, I probably would not use this level again. And understand that the pound dollar right now is really it's a battle between strong pound, strong dollar, right? I believe based off of what their central banks are saying and feeling, I feel like the pound is kind of I guess the stronger of the two. And the reason why is because again, they're admitting that they're seeing inflation and they're opening this. And there was actually again, there's an article this morning. Where is it? I don't see it now. I guess it was down here. Basically talking about the UK, like how they're opening back up again. Oh yeah. So construction and education recovery to be followed by recovery and hospitality. So they're already showing where like this is coming online and this is coming online and this is coming online and this is coming online. They're reopening schools, they're expanding testing and vaccinations. There's a rapid growth in the construction sector, which is always great as well. I mean, now, they said the next jump up, there's a growth of 4 in the second quarter compared to previous quarters. It's driven by retail and hospitality, which is being anticipated, being open live. Again, it's just all positive. Reopen. Again, there's driving back again. So I do feel that, again, as much as I would love to say, oh, it's going down. I feel like we really need to find some buyers. Could they come in here? Sure, they could. There's another level a little bit smaller, a little bit lower. I feel like as soon as we get that kind of any type of comment about, the dollar, and I really don't feel, I put it this way, although they should, I don't feel like the Fed can say, you know what, maybe with the current maybe we have to, we need to adjust accordingly. I feel like if the Fed changes their language at all, people are going to lose all confidence in the Fed, and they should just roll them into the government and it just have them be called like the Senate. Right, because their independence is gone at this point if they change their stance. And I still want to, if I have to pay to do it, I would do it. I want to see the data and the projections that they can say that this is all going to be, temporary inflation, because every single thing we're seeing is telling us the exact opposite. So, if we push down, like I said, in 20 minutes, could it move? What we got here? 15 pips? Sure. Yeah, it could do that. I mean, the ATR is about 18 right now, so it could come down. This could be a turning spot. I don't know how I feel about taking this one short at this point. I mean, there are some buyers lower here and, basically here and here in both areas. Like I said, I'd be more looking for some type of a bottom, some type of a position that looks like this, so we can kind of, look for where overall basically that failure to go lower, right? I would say this would be an area I'd be looking for targets up top. when you do get long, I think 41.55 is a decent level to take some profit. Why mess with these steps if you don't have to? It's a little bit farther here than kind of that gap. And again, if you were looking for that to short, you would have kind of had to go there and you still missed it. So unfortunately, taking this one short was yeah, you missed it by a little bit in there. But I think overall it was decent today because of CPI. But again, I'd be looking to take this one and figure out how to get long that one. Now, dollar CAD. So dollar CAD was all over the place. And again, there was a level up here. We talked about being able to break it. It didn't. This was a parabolic move. It spiked up initially and then turned and rolled right back down again. So, the bottom line here, we didn't expect this to hold. We had our 1, 2, and 3 and touches in that. We expected this one to fail. Obviously, it's not much you're going to, you're not going to really do too much with that. You're not going to be playing a failure with CPI, right? I mean, the Canadian dollar is not necessarily exposed to it. But on the immediate spike up again into a level up high where we had seen people before, yeah, that is one of those targets where you got to say, hey, listen, this could be a potential short. So if you grab that short, great. At this point, again, I would say, with all things being said, the dollar, the dollar is the CAD is holding its ground versus the dollar. So even though it has pushed all the way back down again, the dollar eventually, all the strength of the dollar gain from the CPI number, I feel like will be absorbed, and then there'll be a reversal of it. That's leading me, again, I think there's more of a shorting opportunity in this one. Dropping it on like a 4-hour, you can see that, I mean, I can't even find data for it. There's nothing even to pull back. On a daily, I can. Current prices there. Like, this is what we're looking for. Like, there's nothing down here until here. All the way down here. And I can't even really see it. I have to do a huge zone. I'm on a daily chart right now. And this was back in 2015, right? I mean, look at this. There is nothing, right? And again, we're about to break through this one. So kind of one of those things like, I would just say being short is good, right? Again, if we were unable to change the trajectory, even with the CPI, and all we got was a spike and then a retrace, and we're kind of at the low area again, again, if I could get a decent base, like I don't like this as the base, but if we could get a decent base down here, I like this one for I like this for coming down and trying to grab this lower level. And again, 120 is a big psychological mark. It's only 60 pips that it needs to continue to fall. But I'll tell you right now, with a wife that's from Canada, when she sees 120, it's like, man, that's a great time to bring money over. I gotta say, I'm a fan of this one. I like this one. Take out the Maple Leafs. Go Canada, right? It's always good. We look for these opportunities. When it's high, it stinks bringing stuff over, but when it's low, it's kind of like, yeah, this is pretty nice. So yeah, I would say stay short. Again, if we can get a decent, I mean, we need the base. We just don't have the base right now. Okay. Dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss is charging. This is a pretty volatile one. Again, this was all the way up, all the way down. Again, all the way up, all the way down. And now it's coming higher. I think 90.91, when that dollar kind of flips over, I think it's your time. Here would have been your kind of news setup, right, for this morning when we drop down to that level. And you can see, I mean, here's the 630, here's the 3, right? Here's the 6, there's the 830. So it spiked down, came all the way back. I mean, pretty easy trade, right? 30-minute level. This was a pretty nice runner too, right? Yeah, 40 pips in one candle. So not much we can do right now. I would say that 90.91, when kind of the dollar strength has worked its way out, would be a potential reversal area. We're only about 13 pips, so it can do it in plenty of time. It's probably a later today thing. If this level can hold through lunch, I would say that that's probably a level. Again, you've seen the seller step in right here. Was a decent area, right? Decent area right there. Again, strong reaction off of it. I'd be looking for the same short over here. And again, kind of a bigger zone, but that's how we had to draw it. So let me see. Curious how far this one would need to go down. That's not bad. So something along those lines. And again, we see that price pushed a little bit lower. So there's a 1 to 3 there. So 90.91 I'd be on the radar for. Dollar again straight up, and it makes sense, right? I mean, this news was good for the dollar, not so much for the overall indices, right? They don't like the strong inflation numbers. So again, makes complete sense why it's going higher. There's 2 levels here. There's one here, but again, we've hit this one 3 times. This is number 4, so I really don't know if this one's going to be able to hold. The first clean level that we have is up here at 109.62. And again, that's a better level. This one is, like I said, 1, 2, 3. This is a little front running in here, and it's running into that. So this is really hit number 4. If we come up and start the base in here sideways, again, could it be a potential roll? It could, right? It doesn't have to be 4, right? But it's just the chances of it breaking on number 4 are a lot more. I'd like it to get up to 109.62 before we could get anything. And again, kind of if we were to draw kind of the intraday curve on this one, right? Again, obviously from kind of the most recent highs, the lows, you can see that's putting us up in the extreme range. So again, we kind of like those. We're in the 4 hour. You guys can see the 4 hour here, right? Here's your pink, there's your blue. So we're in the kind of the larger time frame upper region, so we're looking for shorts. Now in kind of the smaller range, kind of the more localized curve, right? Same thing. We're getting in the extreme, and again, this one is 3/4 of the way or halfway through, and then the extreme is the 109.62. So I think either of those two is decent shorts. Okay. Um, and again, it may even come up base just to go higher, and then base, and then pull back down again. Um, I I think this is a good level. This is a parabolic move. We are looking for a retracement. The question is, will it bank here or will it turn here? And again, what I was just saying was, could we have a situation where it comes down, base is sideways? Yeah. And then that's when we take the trigger when it comes out the south, when it comes out the bottom side, looking for targets back in this area. So, but it could do the same thing. It could just base here and then start to roll. So you got to be on your toes on either one on this one. But I think finding a short entry in the dollar yen is definitely something you guys want to keep on your radar. Okay. Let's go across, and I guess we'll do indices first. So we were looking for this one to move, right? I mean, we had a small level down here yesterday. We were looking for it to push up, and it did. It kind of came back up. It didn't get all the way up. We were looking for it to travel all the way across. And again, CPI with it being down, I mean, there's no surprise that would go straight down. Here's the level that we had lower. Again, was touched once, sliced through a second time. Here, interesting enough, you can see that we are basing in this level, the 41.19 down to the 41.12. Kind of makes sense where it is. I would say as far as clean entries go, I'd still be keeping this right here. I think the 41.53 is a decent level. As far as where we go long, I just, this would go to, this is supposed to be yellow. I don't need that anymore. Let me see. Yeah, this is what we're dealing with right now. A bunch of kind of stuff over here. Hmm. Trying to think. I mean, I don't really love any of these levels. I was wondering if we were, if we took a level in here, if we are going to get an actual test of it, and it's not really. Um, Let me see if on 15 I can get anything cleaner. Man, I just may even use that one. That's probably what we're going to do. Let's see here. Let's see. This should have been brought up. I don't know why this wasn't brought up. Let's see. Let's adjust this. I'm gonna put it there. Lock that in. It's a decent level, but got blown through. Which more do we got here? About 100. Let's see. Got 26 more. It's an okay level. like I said, I expect some type of a retracement, some type of a turn from this one because, like I said, it's been overly negative as it should be. I mean, it has every right to. I mean, it should be down. Um, do we use that as far as the kind of the takeoff point? I would say this one depends a lot on the timing. If we can catch this one at the maybe the end of the day when people are trying to like basically resettle everything, this has the potential for an end of the day rally area. Um, and again, it could be after market hours as well. But something along the lines down here of that 40.85 level. Um, I would say that, if there's any type of, if Fed or any, if power, any of the Fed comes out and basically says yet, you know, while surprising that it was higher than expected, we expect all this inflation to disappear. And again, we're not changing our stance. We're going to keep the environment, the market is not recovering as fast as we expected or we'd like. If they reaffirm any of those things, that's the catalyst to send this thing higher. So I think if we can get in the 40.80 level, it's probably decent. The only caveat and the warning on this one is if they mention anything about, it's definitely heating up. We may have to change our targets or that we're going to adjust appropriately. That could also be pretty negative. In which case, this is a little 15-minute level. This 15-minute level is not going to hold. But I'd check this one like three o'clock today. See if we're due to roll. Um, this one's absolutely getting blown up, right? And we expected a bit of a move on this. We were looking to get short anyway. We were trying to find a bunch of different short entries. We talked about here's the open, right? It wasn't where we wanted. We wanted it a bit higher, right? Unfortunately, it came in and it went down. I mean, it was negative in the European session, and we were looking for it to push all the way back down, and it came down and it ran into this level and kind of stopped. But I think overall to the downside, I still think that this target works for us. Um, I think 895 is kind of what we're looking for. We'll hold these upward pieces here. Okay, we don't need this. That one pulled back. Just trying to keep this clean. Oop, nope, go back. Go back. Oh, it's locked. I don't know how I deleted it. That's weird. It's locked, but I deleted it. Um, yeah, I think that's where we look for right now. I don't need that one right now either. Mm, I would say our first turn is down here. Okay, and again, back in the green level. So, um, just make sure we get all these up. Okay, there we go. Whoops. All right, YM. All right, this one just going down. Yeah, we mentioned it before. Looking for this one. It's got a couple levels to chop through the downside. We said that we expected this one to continue to go down today. Again, it was kind of channeling sideways. If there was a break, there was going to be a trap, and there was. It came back down again. But right now, I would say this one's not going to bounce until we get into the 33.80, 50-ish range, probably in the middle, probably down here. Um, Most likely kind of probably in that range is where you'd expect to turn. Again, could it turn off this level with an end of the day rally? Sure, it could. Right. So again, 3 o'clock. Could there be some type of profit taking in this level? Yeah, there could be. So again, maybe keep that on your radar for later. 33,900 is where we're going. All right. It's funny. This one, I want this one to get. I want this one to get this so bad. Like we hit it once, and it's like, man, come on, get up there one more time. I know you can do it again. We called this one on Monday, and it literally touched, and then it's pulled all the way back again. Um, there's a lot of catalysts that can drive this. It just need a little bit more. But right now, again, we've said it for 2 hours. Stay negative. Um, Wait for the bounce off. I mean, 33,900 is probably where we're looking by end of day. I could see another 70-point drop in this one if you're not already in. Now, oil is going. So, oil inventory comes out in 8 minutes. Let's drop down. Right now, it looks like we have not gotten the stabilization. Now, it's pushing. It's continuing to push, right? So, European was. I mean, this was obviously the 4 o'clock, so there was a turn in there. There was the 9. There was the CPI. So we don't need CPI for oil now. Yeah, I mean, on the 5 minute, we have not. There was a little bit of a stabilization here, but not really in a level, and we're continuing to push through that. So Right now, it's continuing to go higher. Like I said, I am okay with this, but I feel like most of this move is already been sucked up at this point. So, I mean, the low was basically at 4:30 a.m. and we're still rallying up. So, let's see, is there a decent level above? Let's just bring these across. We know we got there. I don't need this level anymore. We're pretty much there, yeah. Yeah, this thing, look, there's like nothing here. Hmm. Let me get on some mark this high. Just change this to red. This looks like I could pop some more, but I just don't see how we do much more today. Let's go down to 15. I'm looking for a level where this can turn right around the 66, 63 level. There's not really much in there. Hmm. Huh. Unfortunately, that one's going to be a harder one to trade. Find that a bit. There, that's fine. That one's good there. Yeah, they're going to make this one hard. This is going to be a little bit more challenging of release. I'm wondering if we really don't have much. Like I said, it's pulling up and stabilizing a bit. Last week it was pretty easy where we pulled and stabilized, but this one's not quite at a level yet. So it hasn't moved enough to necessarily take a pre-market move. I would say though, based off the open going straight up, I mean, we had the low, we rallied high, we had some profit taking. 9:30 came in, buyers are pushing it higher. So, I mean, I will say, I mean, for the most part, I mean, there's your European session. We ended, European session starting here, right? Actually, I guess right there. I'll move to the side, right there. It definitely ended on the high. We pulled back in kind of the morning, right? Actually, we'll extend that to 8:30. 8:30 is right there, and then we have the kind of the U.S. session running now. It's kind of done the same thing, quick pullback, right? But then again, it has rallied higher since the kind of the start. So everybody pushing up. I feel like this one is due to roll over. Question is, do we come up? And again, we need that stabilization. It's kind of doing it, but it's not kind of doing as good as we'd be expected. Um, I wish we had a zone. I wish we had the zone to be able to take this one pre, but I would say probably more bearish than this one. I just feel like the news has just been so great. Everything has been good this morning, up and up, that we're kind of getting ready to roll. Now, gold obviously had the big spike up, had a quick spike down, quick spike up, and again, if we continue this across, let's bring it on the 30-minute. You guys can see it was a level that we had talked about, the 1842, and it touched and is all the way back down $10 again. So, just continuing to, it's doing its thing, right? Bouncing between levels, 1842. We mentioned it yesterday. If you didn't get it, I apologize. I don't know what else to tell you. But again, we're holding these two levels firm. It should be green. It should not have been yellow, right? I guess I can mark this one too because we were trying to do it earlier. Let's see, 3 o'clock here till like 8. Change this to blue. Oops, somebody's unhappy. And so far, there's your U.S. session. So you can see where most of the movement is coming in is that first kind of early morning, like 8:30 to 9:30 window, right? And again, gotta love news. But again, we're moving sideways again. It's kind of just channeling. I do think overall, though, at this point, seeing the CPI again, the second they mentioned anything about raising or somebody brings up seeing inflation or inflation spreading to other sectors, I do think gold starts getting on its high horse and running. I do think it's going to go up soon. Again, we're seeing these spikes back and forth, but then the Fed is being, kind of just eh. Oil's in a 4-hour zone. Yeah, it is, but I don't, again, I'd be more cautious of it. Like I said, a 4-hour zone in oil, right? Is it an ideal area? It's okay. And unfortunately, Ernest, when you look back at it, you can see that it really wasn't, there's no main reason for it to turn. And there was a wick over wick here, but it blew through the top of that wick over wick, so we can't use it. So it's kind of one of those, like it's a lack of kind of like a decent zone, right? I mean, this is not the ideal setup here because the big red candle isn't the top. This little one is, right? Ideally, this red candle, middle one would be higher, and then this one would be lower. You don't want the last one being the highest. You want the one previously, the one that the turning point candle. So technically, it was here and then collapsed. So kind of hard to grab it. But like I said, I mean, we got 2 minutes to go, and I would say, I mean, it's doing what we talked about. I think the bearish and it's probably the better. I mean, this one doesn't have the holding. We had a little bit of a hold here, and it's pulling back into it now. Maybe the only thing. Um, I don't know. It just feels like it's not the ideal setup for me pre release. But I would have to say if I had to pick again down. Gold again, just going sideways, nothing earth shattering there. Silver, kind of the same thing. I don't have any for some reason. Oh, it's 5 minutes. I was like, I don't have any levels marked on silver. There's what the silver volatility looks like, right? We have cleaner levels up top, and again, same scenario. This is not the best area. You know, could you have used this area? You could have, but is it the best one? Not really. It's in the middle, and it's a lot of wicks in here. Really nothing. I mean, here's our 10 o'clock today. Here's where we were yesterday. So we are literally at the exact same spot where we were this time when we talked yesterday. And we mentioned it's got to be clean, break up or down, and talk about indecision. This is indecision. Big down and up, big up. And again, it's funny. The one that goes lower is the green. The one that goes higher is the red one, right? So, I mean, how's that for indecision, right? The lower one's green. The higher one is red, right? So, and again, kind of a bullish candle, kind of a bearish candle, and we haven't moved. So I still think watch these two, 26.77 and 28, basically 28.15. Either of those is decent. Overall, kind of like this one more short, but I think we got to wait till there's a clean trade on either of these two before we do much. All right, let's see what oil is going to do. Let's click all. Let's see. Oil, oil, oil. What do we got today? So a red number, right? Inventories are down, but not really as much as I thought they were going to be. Huge difference from last time, right? I mean, last time was -8. This is coming in at 0.4. So, huge difference on that one. And again, you're seeing, in the 30-minute, you're seeing some of this. And again, I think a lot of this movement was already put in. They were trying to get it higher. Actually, this should be here. And we'll see if this one pulls down back to this level. Like I said, here was that initial short. Let's see if that one comes right back down now. Okay. Like I said, the immediate response is going to be red because it's a red number. We'll see. Actually, here, I'll pull this one across since that one's out already. Let's look at probably taking probably this level. Let's see if we can get, and actually it may take to this, right? Something along those lines. Something on there. See if we hit 65, 66 for today. Is what I would assume that we would see. And like I said, it was up 1.4%, something like that. So it was a decent thing. So I mean, again, have some profit taking come in. Not the easiest levels, but I think 65, 66 is the target to the downside. So, all right. With that said, let me drag this over. I only got 6 people in today. I got more than 6 people on. So let's go ahead and do our drawing for the day. Now remember, everybody can enter the drawing. It's for Pip Chips. You can use it to purchase different things for the channel. Like I said, lacrosse season is almost over, and I can start getting my time back again. Spring is always hard for me to add new stuff. Between Zoom school and kids lacrosse, it's been insane. We've had one league is done. The other one has basically a week and a half to go. And then it's kind of like back to like smooth sailing. It's like, And next week, so I just got notification the boys are going back to 4 days a week instead of 2. So now it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday that the boys will be heading back to school. So I will get a little bit more free time as well. I'm so excited about free time. It's amazing. All right. So who do we got here? I see Debbie. I see Will. There we go. There's Ernest. Neuro's in there. Debbie's in there. Will's in there. Who else is? I can't even see who else is on. I wish I could actually see like the people that are on. I see 11, but I don't see everybody in there. I saw Eki get in there a little while ago. There you go. There's Eki. Will's going big for today. Will, did you win the last one? Is that why you're going big? I feel like Will may have won the last one from last Wednesday. Did you win? I feel like that was your double. Yes, that would have been your double, and I didn't do it. Yeah. So Will's going for 3. Will, I don't know. Have you ever won a 3? I feel like you haven't ever won a 3, but maybe, maybe. All right, let's go ahead and close it down. Let us see if Will can get number 3. Yeah, he's like, no, I've never won a 3. Many people have won 3s except Will. So it will today be the day. So Will, you played it smart, right? You're up on pip chips in the last 3 days, right? If anybody else wins, it's Wednesday, so they get their 50, but Will would get his 250 because it would be victory number 3. I'm shocked that Ernest did not put more in. I think Ernest was sleeping. I don't think he realized this was your 3rd win. And Nura threw one extra one in there as well. So we'll see. And this is the question, guys. Are statistics in Will's favor today? Right? I mean, the odds are in his favor, yeah. But is Lady Luck on his side? Okay. Winner of today's drawing is Debbie takes it. Debbie took it with 1. So, Will, it's one of those things. Well, it was good while it lasted. Yeah, Will, it's one of those things. Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know the mathematical odds. I know they say that every drawing and things like that is its own set of odds. But I do know there's a thing that's like, oh, out of 10 times, and if the percentages are there, you have to win so many. I feel like next time your odds will be bad, much, much better. So, uh, well, I'll go ahead and give Debbie her, Will was like, wah, wah, wah. I had the chips in. I had no one stacked against me. I was going for victory number 3. It's having issues now. But, I can't feel too bad, Will. So you did pretty well with it. Look at this one. This one is just crushing right now. Crushing. This one is getting ahead. This one's going up more. So again, retail traders are definitely taking this one. So Debbie by a mile. I know. Eki basically. She's like, I don't need 5 tickets. I can just use 1. You know what? I bet you Debbie did the Dr. Evil finger too. She was like, she's petting, what is it, Mr. Bigglesworth? Is that what it is? Is that Mr. Bigglesworth? I don't remember. I like Austin Powers, but I don't remember. I think it's Mr. Bigglesworth. But yeah, Debbie's sitting there going with her wine glass. Yep. Yep. Exactly. It's happening. There's your mental picture for the day, guys. I can see her doing yeah, the little pinky gesture. Exactly. I was just doing it, Nero. I was just doing that. Yeah, she's petting Mr. Bigglesworth. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So now that everybody has that image of their head, Debbie petting a hairless cat, drinking her wine, her fishbowl wine glass. I have done my job for the day. All right, guys. You guys take care. I will catch everybody. Like I said, we'll be on for Nadex tomorrow. We won't. I won't have a chart session tomorrow. I do have. We have a baby appointment, so I need to get out to that one. So, yeah, I know, right? She's in the room next door. And I don't know. So here's the thing, Ernest. I'm gonna have to get some of those sound tiles and sound tile the wall, right? Because my desk now faces the room that she's in. She's on the other side of it, so we're like mirrored that way. But it's like, man, if I'm loud, I don't know how well. I mean, it would have to go through 2 doors, but only 1 wall. I don't know how loud it is. So she hasn't banged on the door or thrown anything yet. So, but you know how it goes. Angry wife, angry pregnant wife, right? You guys know what that. I mean, just stack it in there. You guys can imagine what that's going to be like. So yeah, but the girl was screaming in the hallway, so I gotta go take care of her. It's one of those days. All right, I hope everybody has a great day today. Hopefully, everybody. Damn, what I thought this could. um, yeah. Um, hopefully everybody made money at CPI. And like I said, it's know your news releases. So much movement. And I will say the funniest thing about the Nadex one today, and I hope you guys all got this. Like I don't know if you guys all caught it or not. Um, for the Nadex one this morning, I was like, look at the 2 hours. Like I was trying to tell Todd, I was like, look, just look at the 2 hours, right? Look at anything in there, and you can see how many strike prices were blown up. It didn't matter if you said short; it went through 9, right? From down here, if you waited for the retracement, again, it went down. It's like, oh, is it going to retrace? It's a parabolic move. It went what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It went 15 through to the top. So it almost blew out the bottom, went 15 all the way through the top. So it didn't matter from here if you chose long or short, you were good either way, right? So again, watch those news releases, right? Know your news releases and what the power is behind it. And something as big of a hot button as inflation, I mean, take it and run with it. So, All right, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys later. You guys take care.